Welcome to our Your Business Live, brought to you by Connexx. We do this on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 12 to 12:20. It's our way to bring our members of Connexx to you to learn more about their services, products, what they have to offer. So today's guest is someone I've known now for more than a decade, and it's been an interesting friendship because I've gotten to see her really thrive in an area where she has a gift. She's been a member of Connexx for the last couple of months, and she's been such a great addition to the group because of her positive energy and how much everyone really just likes being her friend. And she has a special gift that not many people have. So that said, I'd like to welcome Shira Benedetto. Welcome to Your Business Live.
Thanks, Chris.
What is it exactly that you do? We'll start off with that. Just give us a little introduction.
So I'm a psychic medium, which means that I connect with deceased loved ones, guides, and angels. And I also specialize in not only in the connection, but in the direction portion of helping people's lives to see what's ahead for them. And not just for them personally, but also for them in business.
So let's start with the first question. I think anyone would wonder, how did you come to learn that you had this gift? And is it something that you knew right away, or start us there?
Okay, so I didn't know right away. I was what we consider one of those late bloomers in life. I feel like that's a running trend lately. And what happens is I started knowing things, knowing more than what most people would know later in life when I was working. But when I think back, I know when I was a child, I had imaginary friends who I've discovered are actually healing guides. Those are the people on the other side that work with you. And, I also had great intuition as a teenager in college as well, just kind of knowing who a bad person was versus a good person.
And how do you start? Is that how other people report it, where they have quote unquote imaginary friends? Or is it something like at some point, like someone came to you and said, tap you on the shoulder, all right, Shira, you have the gift? Like, what was that final moment?
I guess for me, that final moment was when I was working in the city, and I just looked at a colleague and I remember saying, who's David and who's Susan? And he looked at me like, what? And Susan was his mother who had passed, and David was his brother that was alive. And it really just in that moment was like, oh, something's going on here. I got to figure what's going on because there's no reason why I would know this information. So that was kind of my light bulb moment.
And then how did you nurture this talent that you discovered to doing what you do now?
So I started meditating first, and then I started seeking out different teachers that could help me navigate what I was experiencing. And I was so skeptical in the beginning. I didn't even want to spend any money on courses or anything because I was like, this can't even be. Like, I just couldn't wrap my mind around it completely. But then once I started seeing that I was getting this information and that spirit was coming to me and I was knowing things about people that, normally you just wouldn't know, right? And then I'd be getting messages from loved ones telling me things for their loved ones to help them. And I'm like, there is just no possible way without this being real. So, that's just kind of how it happened.
Is it something that like a feeling you get, or do you hear like actual words whispered into your ear?
Well, I do that on those days. I do get actually words whispered in my ears. Absolutely. I'll get it as, in my head, I'll hear it. I also will see imagery, and I'll also really feel things as well, which translate into information. And I'll also get smells and tastes that associate with memories or different things that are going on. So like, for instance, if I'm in an elevator and the person has to pee, right? I immediately feel like I have to go to the bathroom, right? The second the person steps off the elevator, I don't have to go to the bathroom anymore. It was them.
Huh.
So
the only thing I can compare this to is the movie Ghost. Like, I think of the movie Ghost. Is that an accurate depiction as far as like how you feel spirits interact with the living?
Well, I mean, in Ghost, the spirits did protect her, right? So through Whoopi, they were able to protect her, right? And then him transcending and going up into the light, absolutely. And him coming back and utilizing coins and bringing that to her attention and then using the word ditto, right, as opposed to I love you. Those are things that your loved ones will do when they cross over. They'll use the words or they'll do the best they can to get as close as possible based on the medium's frame of reference.
But what is the belief that someone who is still communicating with you hasn't yet gone to their final place? Are they like in transition at that point?
I never really considered it like a transition point. There's just different levels of evolvement. And once we cross, we go to the light. And it's just from there where your level of ascension is based on the lifetime of work you've done.
But it doesn't necessarily need to be someone who's related to you. It's someone who...
It could be a stranger completely, and it could be somebody you never even met. It could be a celebrity. It could be anybody really that wants to connect with you, that has something to learn from what you have to offer while you're being here in this world.
Can spirits have different intentions, whether they're protecting or if they're trying to inflict harm on you?
I never really had the inflict harm, but I've had the protection.
Okay. And so you mentioned like being in the elevator and having to pee. Do you ever like walk down the aisle of the grocery store and you just hear like voices, or you'll hear things coming to you throughout the entire store, or are you able to like tune that out unless you're looking to use it?
No, I tune out. They know, do not bother me. I want to have a regular life. Only talk to me when you absolutely need to. That's like kind of my rule. Or if it's an emergency.
Do you, for your own, will you get warnings because you are very in tune to this for your own life, to where you're getting in the car and maybe you hear spirits say, don't drive anywhere right now?
Yes.
Or anything like, and how do you respond, or what do you do with that?
I stay where I am.
But like, I'm curious, like if you were going to like an event or you had to be somewhere with your daughter, do you call the place and say like, I'm going to be running 15 minutes late, spirit said, hold up? Like, what's the way that like, how do you incorporate it to your life?
So, you know, I definitely tell them spirit said, hold up. No, but they definitely, I'll just, you know, navigate like, I hit traffic, you know, or like, for instance, if I have a client, if I'm running behind, I'll literally send a message to spirit like, hey, I don't want them to wait and be anxious. I'm running behind, and then they get stuck in traffic.
Interesting. What would you say your favorite part about this gift is in general?
I love to help people. So I think for me, there's a lot of gratification in seeing the success that it comes out of bringing relief to people and bringing closure to people. And
how do you respond to people who don't? I mean, when you first told me about this years ago, I am a skeptic. I've always been skeptical. Mm-hmm. But you shared information that there's no possible way in a million years there's no way you could know, because these are things about my mom that no one in New York would know, and you shared things and you were spot on. So it's pretty hard to say it's hokey or it's BS. In my situation, that dispelled it. What do you say to people who might come right out and say to you, I don't believe this, or it's not real? Do you engage in conversation with them, or do you just let it go?
I just let them go, because they're not ready to be open yet. When they're ready, they'll connect with me. I'm not here to prove anything to anyone. I don't feel like that's part of my life mission. Part of my work is to awaken people so they can have the best lives possible for themselves. So when they're ready, they'll connect.
Great. All right, Sean, I have a question. Let's see. Can you help people open their third eye?
Yes, I can.
Can you explain what the third eye is?
So the third eye is the concept. You'll ever see the eye here drawn on images, right? So it's connected to the pineal gland, which is internally inside the brain, which is an access point for light information to come through. And the more open that area of your brain is, the ability for you to receive transmissions through the neural synapses will increase your ability to connect with spirit and or get psychic information.
And you can help people with that.
Yeah.
Okay, Sean, next question. I know you can help people personally. Mm-hmm. Is there a way that you can help them in business?
Absolutely. I have lots of clients that are business owners, and I go with them, month by month of what's ahead, or if they have questions about specific employees as to what's going on with them. Are there agendas? Is there different things going on that they need to be aware of, right? Because you don't want to have an employee working for you per se that's taking your client list, or that is taking trade secrets, right? Or you have a client that's stealing, you're in the catering business and the client is stealing, right? You want to make sure that you have the right people. And if there's things ahead that you're unknowingly going to encounter, then as a result of it, you would be harmed. So that's important to be able to connect.
So if you identify that, will you say, I'm getting this feeling, you might want to look into it further? Or do you say, I believe this person's stealing, fire them? Like, is it a step or part of it?
No, I don't take free will away from people, right? So it's not like the TV show when you're like, you're fired. It's more of, hey, do you have cameras in your office? Because perhaps you'd like to consider watching this employee that looks like this.
Got it. And in your personal life, if you're friends with someone, let's say, for instance, you and I were talking and you were getting a feeling or spirit was telling you your wife is having an affair, mm-hmm. would you share that with the individual, or would you just say nothing? And then when they tell you, say, yeah, I knew I didn't want to say anything. Like, how do you handle that?
No, I believe that honesty is the best policy. So I will say, how's your relationship going? What's going on with this? What's going on with that? Make small talk, and then just kind of be like, hey, have you done this? Have you checked this?
You have cameras on your wife.
So, it's important. You don't want to see anybody get hurt, right? And if somebody's being not ethical with their partner, somebody, you can step up and do the right thing, right?
Yeah. Let's see. Is there ever an instance when someone wants to connect with spirit and none come through?
Sure. But it's not that spirit's not present. It's that the person, even though they have this tremendous need to connect, is not actually open. So they are literally blocking themselves. And as a result of it, their loved ones can't connect through the medium effectively in that moment in time. Now, that doesn't mean that tomorrow or the next day they wouldn't be able to connect. They probably would if the person experienced, oh, they couldn't connect with me. Then all of a sudden, like, their muscles, so to speak, kind of just like, I got to relax, right? And then as a result of it, the connection can take place. But a lot of people block themselves. And some people, they have this amazing interest in wanting to connect, but then they're kind of scared at the same time. They're like, I don't want to know this. I don't want to know. Don't bring up that. Don't even say that, So they're setting all these parameters for their loved ones, which in turn creates resistance or friction on the connection line. So that impedes a connection.
How long did it take for you to master your gift?
So I would never say I have completely mastered it, right? I always feel like we're a work in progress. The minute we stop learning is the moment we start dying. So I would say that I've gotten to this level with years and years of work and with dedication. It's all about discipline. And it's like anything, like, Chris, if you don't use it, you lose it type of feel with your muscle memory. Same thing with mediumship or with your psychic abilities. You have to use it consistently and you have to make it a part of your life.
Wow. I'm thinking of all the reasons why it would be beneficial and all the reasons why it would be a pain. Do you find that very often people are, quizzing you, challenging you, testing you when they hear what you do?
Every once in a while I get one of them, and then I just kind of walk away from them because I told you I'm not interested in being challenged like that. It's not for me. So that's their own journey. They can challenge somebody else. So
I can say that, like, I personally respect it to where I've never once asked you, are you sensing anything? But there have been times where you'll just tell me, hey, I'm getting this feeling or something, which I don't know if it's like not appropriate or like in medium circles, or you're not supposed to ask something like, hey, how do I look today? Or
you look good.
which you don't sense anything with me right now of illness. Is anyone coming to you from the other side ever about Sean's blue shirts? I'm just curious.
They like it with his eyes.
And by they, you could mean anyone watching or people on the other side.
Exactly.
Sean, another question come up. If not, you can put contact information and start scrolling.
He's thumbing up.
Yes. Oh, does spirit speak clearly to you, or is there a level of interpretation involved?
I don't feel for me that there's a level of interpretation. I usually get it literal because I'm a literal person. Also, if people are getting information and they're having to interpret it per se, right, through symbols, then you have to question, is it psychic or is it spirit? And there's a whole nother level that they have to learn about that as well, because there is a distinction. So you have to know whether you're picking up the information psychically or whether you're picking up the information actually from a spirit.
Oh, so there's two different channels.
Yeah. Yep.
So a psychic is just seeing the future, whereas a medium is communicating?
Well, psychics should be able to see, if they've developed their gift, they should be able to see the past, the present, and the future. Whereas a medium connects with deceased loved ones. A psychic medium, which is what I am, does all.
And you can work on those areas
you
absolutely.
Are. Absolutely. And
I'm sorry.
Yeah, speaking of working on those areas, I do have a course that's launching and details are coming soon. So if you want to know, I think maybe Sean can post something.
And that was exactly what I was about to say, but I'm sure you knew that. But I was going to just say, and how do you help others? So you do the courses, you're available for one-on-one, you do groups. Give me the list. What is it that you offer?
So right now, because we are in the pandemic, my one-to-ones are not happening. Instead, I'm doing phone and virtual readings. So there's no difference in quality. It just saves you time. You don't have to pay for gas for, and getting stuck in traffic, right? You're literally just on the computer. It's easy. Or we do virtual groups as well. I also do Reconnective healing, which is distance healing. So I'm sending energy to someone. If they want a session like that, that helps restore balance to someone. So if you're feeling off for a period of time, it's something to really consider to clear your energy field. And, I'm also doing the classes, and I also do meditation from time to time. If people watch me on my Facebook page, they'll see I do energy boosts for free, readings for free, and even healings for free on there, just to lift everybody up. Because, look what's going on in this world right now. Everybody could use a boost,
Can I ask what you believe, what we're looking at in the next couple of weeks, months, what you foresee with the pandemic and all of COVID?
Yeah, absolutely. So the next couple of weeks are going to be scary. So what I would say is, heed on the side of caution. Don't get politics involved on this. It looks like, I would say the second half of August is a time people need to be more cognizant of who they're spending time with, because I feel the virus infection rate is going to go up, and it will be demonstrative in September. And then it looks like, schools will be closing is the impression I get as a result of that. Oh, there goes the lights. And then it looks like after that, October is going to be pretty bad in terms of what's going on. There are other symptoms it looks like people are going to be having, gastro being a severe one. It also looks like short-term paralysis, even some hemorrhaging coming in with individuals. It looks like it's going to affect the younger population as well, as opposed to in this first round. We noticed that primarily it was on the elder age, right? Yes, they were younger that got it, but the primary focus was higher. Now it looks like it's going to be older, and it looks like, heading into November, you're still having issues. So, and then pushing, even further into 2021, it doesn't look like it's gone away yet.
Do you have any kind of feeling for how long this could potentially, or what you're being told how long it goes for?
I feel like we'll be in a much better place in 2022.
2022
is when we'll feel much better.
Wow. So the virus, you feel, will be mutating, affecting people differently. Mm-hmm. More will be affected and infected.
Right. Like
and
I feel like
younger age.
New York City again is going to become a hot spot, as is upstate New York. LA is going to get hit again. So like the places that originated with as epicenters, it feels like they're going to, perk back up again.
Well, on a positive
note.
Well, I guess it's better to know and be warned so you can prepare than to completely not know what's going to take place.
I'll give you a heads up. Spirit said to me, don't go into the stores in October. So, delivery, probably a better option for food.
Very good to know. So I'm going to start stocking up now and putting supplies aside.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we have Shira's contact information below. Everything is linked on the Facebook page as well. What do you prefer how people get in contact with you? Call, email?
I love email. I'm faster with it.
Yes, agreed. But you knew I felt that way.
We're an efficiency crew.
Yes.
Get it done.
If you can just share in 30 seconds, you being with Connexx for the last couple months, how's that experience been for you, and why would you suggest or recommend others to check it out?
Well, I love Connexx. I think it's an amazing group of individuals that not only are interested in networking, they're interested in relationships. And as a result of it, people seem to come together. There's a greater sense of genuine nature of individuals that are not just looking to be cutthroat. They're looking to get to know one another. And as a result of it, the relationships that form lead to future business. And, it's been a win-win for me. And I would suggest other people that are interested in working with really genuine people that are lively and fun and exciting and want to have a smile in the morning, you should definitely connect and be a part of it.
Awesome. Well, thank you. And you are an asset to the group. So glad that you are a part of it. And to anyone that wants answers, has questions, Shira is the person to go to. Reach out, hear what she has to say. And I'm going to find out more about COVID and how to better prepare from Shira. I'd rather hear from her than everything on the news. So
thanks, Chris.
Thank you, Shira. And I will be seeing and talking to you soon.
Sounds good.
All right. So that was interesting. Sean, is that blue or white that you're wearing?
It's white with a blue stripe.
Nice. Do you think that Spirit communicating with Shira is clearer than me trying to communicate with you through email at times?
Spirit's definitely clearer.
Yes.
Sometimes I think you type with your left hand.
Sometimes I do. Sometimes I do. So did you learn anything new about the spirit world or with what Shira does?
I think it's amazing. I remember we had Shira on one of our Zoom at noons earlier on in the pandemic, and she gave me a quick brief reading, and it was funny because she said, yeah, there will be a woman that will come into your life in September. And I'm like, wait a second, my wife could be listening to this. And it was actually it was someone in business who was going to refer business, or who I was going to make some type of business relationship with. So I was glad she clarified that on the record.
That's coming in September?
It's coming in September. So
are you going to think that every woman that comes into your life is the person that Shira predicted?
We'll see.
I'll tell you what she told me about my mom that blew my mind. The first prediction or thing that she said, I was training her, this is going back about 7 years ago. And I said, how does it work? Do you get feelings? Like, do you know anything about my unborn child? And she said, I don't want to do reading yet. Spirit's telling me wait till the baby's born and then we'll do a reading. And I said, all right, tell me something about me. Because I'm skeptic. And she said, all right. She took a second. She said, your mom wears a cross. And I said, all right, I'm not exactly convinced. She said, but wait, it's not a traditional cross. It's a sideways cross, and she wears it on the side of her neck. And I said, I'm not aware. That weekend, I met my parents for lunch, and sure enough, my mom is wearing a small gold chain with a cross on the side of her neck. Now, Shira had no possible way, my mom living 2.5 hours from here. She's never met my mom. I had no idea. And once she said that and I said, Shira, we need to schedule a reading immediately. So, and then she said, no, Spirit's saying not until your baby's born.
You don't think she quickly Amazoned a, across to your mom's house?
No. But we induced labor 2 months early just so we could get that reading because she said she wouldn't do it till the baby was here. I'm just kidding, Sean. We didn't induce labor. So I suggest anyone that wants answers or questions, or if you want to know anything about your business, future of your business, what she sees or Spirit sees, reach out to her. She's a very friendly person, and what I found to be so interesting about what it is that she does, she doesn't remember or retain what she tells someone, which is just made me feel that she really is just sharing something that's coming through her, essentially. Because people I know who have gone for readings, I'll say, wow, they told me this. And she'll say, I said that. And that to me, I don't know why it like convinced me more to be like, wow, someone's really speaking right through her. So learn more with Shira. And to anyone that's catching this right now, tonight for Connexx, we have a real estate and trade meeting. If anyone here is involved in real estate or any of the trades, we have a meeting from 7:30 until 8:30 p.m. That will be hosted by Kevin Seinfeld and Howell Silberman. I'll be on to support and wave. And then tomorrow morning, we have our weekly Connexx meeting from 7:15 a.m. until 8:30 a.m. If you are in any business and you do anything involving sales, books of business, reach out to us through getconnexx.com, register, we'll send you the link, and you can find out how our business community puts people before profession. We want to get to know you, and we want to do what we can to help you not just survive at times like this, but instead to thrive. Join us at getconnexx.com to learn more. Thank you for checking us out today, and we'll see you again on Thursday.